It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show.
Frank.
Come on, the
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
What? The
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
Come on, the
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
What? The
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
Come on,
Frank,
Frank
the
Show.
Frank.
It's time for the show. Aloha, headsets. Frankie Boy here, and welcome to the Frank Show. We have a great episode for you today. Last week, PlayStation Blog did a feature on 30 games coming to PlayStation VR over the next 3 months, but one big problem, it was just a list. Now, your boy Frankie grabbed all the trailers, read all the information, compiled all the data, and I got all of those games coming for you. So sit back and enjoy 32 games coming out for PlayStation VR this spring. Well, real quick, before we get started, if you want to stay up to date on everything PlayStation VR and you don't mind this ugly mug, friggin' subscribe. First up is Anamorphine, which is much more experienced than game. Now, this one wants you to understand what it's like to live with mental disease. It looks like a beautiful art style, and everything I've heard has been pretty cool, but I'm not sure how many gameplay elements there'll be to it. I think it may be more of moving around in a kind of cinematic game, but regardless, I'm excited to check this one out. Next up, Apocalypse Rider is one of those lane-changing racer games. Now, I love these games on mobile, I've loved these games on PC my entire life, so I'm sure in VR it's going to be just as fun, and I'll definitely check it out, even though the graphics don't look too spectacular. Next up, Chromagun is one that I have been waiting to try out for a long time. Now, it's been on PS4 for a bit, and the community was so interested in bringing it to VR that the developers made it happen. And it's coming out pretty soon. This is a puzzle game with colors, so I'm excited to grab my aim controller and hop in. Next up, CoolpaintrVR is the painting game we have been waiting for months and months. Now, this one was delayed because they wanted to add in the option to upload and download the models that you make and possibly put them into your PC and turn them into real models. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad we'll get real applications out of it, and I'm even more so looking forward to getting my hands on it. Next up, Crisis of the Planet of the Apes is actually being brought to us by Fox Studios. Now, I've had some people that played the demo a while back, and they said it was pretty fun. I was worried because most tie-ins kind of just a cash grab, so when this one comes out, I will definitely be grabbing it. I mean, who doesn't want to shoot somebody as a monkey? Next up, the Flatline Experience is exactly what that is. Now, they've been pushing this as kind of like a cinematic Hollywood location-based experience for about a year or so now, and you're in a hospital and you have more of an out-of-body experience while you're in that bed. I think it'll be cool as long as it is priced appropriately. Next up, Headbutt Factory is one that we've actually been hearing about since launch. Now, this is kind of one of those balls coming at you. You got to bounce them back games with a very cool looking art style that has actually been out in the Asian store for quite a while, and finally, we're getting it our way. Next up, Hopalong the Badlands, which I've had the pleasure of playing on PC, is too much fun. It is a cowboy western game where you get your own pony and you get to shoot down bad guys as you go through the levels. Too cool, very fun movement system, and I think we're going to have a great time with this one. Next up, Island Time is featuring Greg from Kinda Funny Games, if you're a fan of that one, and it's going to put you on an island where you got to survive day to day, maybe flag down an airplane, craft, find food, and with a sense of humor, this one looks great. Next up, Just in Time has been on PC for quite a while now, and it stars you as an insurance agent that can stop time. Now, you're going to have to jump around and kind of create havoc or fix situations before they get even worse. Next up, Killing Floor Incursion is the zombie shooter that you've been waiting for. Now, I'm not the biggest zombie game, but the quality on this one is much different compared to that of Arizona Sunshine, much more on the darker side. Now, it's a pretty cool game on PC, and the multiplayer is fun. I hope that it keeps that same integrity over onto the console side. Next up, MLB Home Run Derby is exactly what you think it is. I'm pretty sure we're going to be grabbing our Move controllers, swinging a bat, and knocking them out of the park in tons of real-world stadiums. This one could be a very fun game for baseball fans. Nothing But Net is a basketball goofing off park that's been on PC for a while and is finally coming to PlayStation VR. Now, I'm not sure if the multiplayer will go over to us as well, but I really do hope so. You can shoot, you can spin, you can play horse, and it just looks like a good time. Next up, One Piece Grand Cruise is not going to be too long, but fans of One Piece, I'm sure, are going to be extremely into it. I think this one is definitely going to be a bit more on the experience side with a little bit of gameplay, more like Spider-Man into it, but it looks like it'll be cool. Art style looks just like the show. Next up, Pixel Rip 1989 looks like an awesome throwback retro game. Now, this is the one where you're playing on your Game Boy, and then you have to jump into real life, so it's kind of AR, VR, and as long as they do it right, I'm really excited to see what this one is. Next up, Prana is, I think it's going to be a niche game. Now, this is one more meditative experience where you use your breath to heal animals, which I don't know how into it I am, but there's probably going to be some people that think it's beautiful, think it's cool, and we definitely will check it out. Next up, Predator Vendetta Rising is going to be one of the first hack-and-slash RPGs, well, fantasy RPGs, for PlayStation VR. Now, this one has gotten some great reviews on PC, so it's around 10 hours or so plus. I think we're going to love it. Next up, Quality Infernal Machines is a turn-based strategy game with alien anteaters. Now, this one looks funny, it looks cool, the art style looks awesome, and there seems to be a lot of depth to the levels of troops and artillery and things that you can bring onto the battlefield, so I'm definitely going to check it out, and hopefully it's multiplayer. Next up, Radiant VR is a puzzle game that is kind of like an old school puzzler where you have to turn a wheel with color-based things to knock them out. Now, this one has actually they've been working on it for quite a while for PS4, and I'm excited because I do love puzzle games. Alright, the big one, Rick and Morty VR. Now, this one has been out on PC for a while. It has won tons of awards, and it is finally coming to PlayStation VR. Now, if you're a fan of the show, you're going to love every second of it. It is a great fan service, but if you're also just a VR fan, the gameplay elements of this one are too much fun, and it is coming from Squanch and Alchemy, so you know that the quality is going to be on point. Next up, Rooms the Unsolvable Puzzle is exactly what you'd think, a puzzle-based game, but instead of a normal just VR puzzle game, it is more of a 2D side-scroller where you're moving from room to room and solving small puzzles in between. Looks very interesting. Next up, Separation VR, or Solitude VR, is going to place you on an island, well, 8 different levels on an island, and it's going to be a lonely place where you have to solve puzzles to, I guess, make your way out. Now, they're saying the game's going to be around 3 hours, so I think it's going to be more of one of those exploration games, but the art style does look cool, so I will definitely be checking it out. Next up, Smash Hit Plunder is a local multiplayer game where you gotta smash everything. Now, you're going to get points for how much you can smash, and you want to try to break everything you can, and like I said, you can bring a buddy in on DualShock 4 to play with you as well. Next up, Super Amaze Balls is one of those marble rolling games where you have to turn and move the puzzle around to move the marble from point A to B. Now, I'm not sure if you move it the wrong way if it falls off or not, but I'm assuming that's the case, so you have to keep it on the track. Now, this one looks cool. I love puzzle games. I love different kind of VR puzzle games, so I'm excited to take a look. Next up, Super Kaiju looks awesome. Now, I think this is going to be kind of a multiplayer game where you're arena-based and you're fighting you against another guy in kind of a kaiju robot. Now, it looks like you can have guns. There's going to be stuff around the arena, and it looks like a whole lot of fun. Not to mention, it looks like a crisp game. Next up, Siren is a survival horror game that is supposed to be extremely scary. Now, I can't say because I haven't played it yet, and I'm also not the biggest horror games. Now, you're going to be stranded on a laboratory, and you're going to have to find your way out. Next up, The Perfect Sniper has you playing a sniper. From locale to locale, you're going to be grabbing your move controllers and shooting that perfect shot. Time Carnage, a wave-based arcade shooter, and it looks like you're shooting dinosaurs. Now, after playing a little Ark Park and not really enjoying that dinosaur shoot, maybe Time Carnage will finally take up for what they were unable to do. Next up, Torn, which is maybe the game that I am personally looking most forward to, has you exploring a mysterious doctor's house and trying to find out exactly what's going on. Now, the art style in this one looks too cool, and I love creepy home exploration games. Next up, VR Apocalypse has you shooting down alien nests as quick as possible in what looks kind of like a mech machine. Now, the graphics don't look too amazing on this one, but the gameplay could be fun, so we will find out as time moves on. War Robots VR has you piloting a war robot. Now, this one looks kind of like a mech shooter, very similar to maybe Archangel, but I don't believe this one is on rails, so it could be a whole lot of fun. Finally, the Xing the Land Beyond is a fantasy RPG adventure game, and it's been out on PC for a while, but didn't get too much love, so they are hoping to get a lot of love on PlayStation VR. Now, art style looks great, gameplay is supposedly fantastic, and it's going to be one of the longer story-based ones, so I definitely suggest keeping your eye on that one. Now, it's just a little basic information about all these games. I don't like to hype you guys up too much before we get solid release dates, because we cover everything on the show. So as we get closer to the full release of all of these ones, you will find out everything you need to know, and we'll probably have a review for most. Alright, so what you think? Any of those games tickle your fancy? Any of those games really something you're looking forward to? Can't wait for Rick and Morty. What about you guys? Please let me know everything below. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stay up to date on everything PlayStation VR and you don't mind this ugly mug, friggin' subscribe. I mean, come on. Smooches. It's the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, the Frank Show. What? The Frank Show. Come on, Frank Show. It's time for the show.